I don't know how in touch you are with Mr Assange anymore, but this is his final chance to stay in the UK. Why would he rather be in Belmarsh prison than in a prison in the States when he could be out in 6 years?
It's not his final chance. He's appealing to the two judges for a full appeal. But they could just shut it down. I think a lot of people are expecting, look, this has gone on long enough, let's just refuse any further appeal, pack him off, and in 28 days we'll see him on a plane to the USA. But what I can't get past is the fact that the judge earlier, Vanessa Barrister, had ruled that his mental health has suffered enough that he shouldn't be extradited, full stop. You know, Gary McKinnon was good enough for him, and why is it OK now? The Americans appealed and said, well, you know, his mental health is good enough. 300 doctors signed something and said, well, it really isn't. If there's even a grey area on that, his human rights should kick in and he shouldn't be on that plane.
Well, the European Court of Human Rights didn't think that there was a claim there. They thought that, you know, if anything, that this was just a ploy to avoid being extradited. Now, I just want to understand what is different in terms of the impact on his mental health from an American prison to that of Belmarsh, where we send some of our most hardened criminals.
Well, you've got the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Torture visit him at Belmarsh and rule that he's suffered from torture. So who are you going to believe? The United...
So why does he want to stay in Belmarsh, then?
Well, I don't think he wants to stay in Belmarsh. I think he wants to be let free, and I think he should be let free. But the problem you've got is it's a no-win either way you look at it, because if he gets on that plane and goes to America, let's face it, you go to an American prison, the suiciding of Assange could take place Epstein style. You know, you've got the situation where people will go on the internet and say, look, I'm not suicidal. Oh, funnily enough, they've been suicided. You know, the Justice Department in America have just done a special report only 4 days ago saying that the prison services really lax in America. So basically anyone can get access. And the CIA, you know, they've got form. They've already got there's a huge dossier of evidence there that they tried to assassinate Assange. So if he's on American soil, his life's in danger.
But Chelsea Manning was OK.
Chelsea Manning's got through it, but that raises another point. If Julian Assange is just the messenger and didn't do anything wrong, why on earth is...
Well, how could he not have done anything wrong? I mean, people in the theatre of war may have died because of him, and we're worried about his mental health.
OK, well, just to unpack that one, it's been analysed that he redacted all the names and he was extremely responsible, and not one person died from the leak. So they ruled that one out. But from a journalist point of view, you should both be really petrified, because if a precedent is set that you say something on morning TV and a UAE country doesn't like it, you're on the next plane. And facing prison time. And you're a journalist. You should have the right to publish. You know, and the Guardian editor at the time, Alan Rusbridger, published the same information that Assange printed. No wonder he's backing Assange now, despite having hated the guy, because he's thinking, if you can retrospectively pull me out for doing something...
But the difference is, I mean, the Guardian, Rusbridger would have published whatever it is, two front pages or whatever, and pull out inside. Assange was responsible for tens, if not hundreds of thousands of pages, which he couldn't possibly have read and redacted fully.
Well, he's won every single journalistic award you can imagine. So I know he's a polarising figure, but from this one side of the fence, he's the greatest journalist of all time.
The journalist he may be, and a certain type of journalist he may be, but do the public care less? I mean, you're the PR man, or you were the PR man. People don't care about him.
I think because...
They're fed up listening to him.
Well, I think the dirty tricks PR on his reputation has been extremely successful, from sexual smear to everything else. But also he's his own worst enemy because of his... he's on the spectrum. He's non-partisan. He doesn't really make many friends. You'd think you're in with him and suddenly he's leaked something on you. So you've got a situation where everyone goes, he's the Assange problem. And it's kind of like a slow-motion disposal of a person that's like a bomb ready to go off. But human rights must kick in. This is a human life. Finally, Australia's kicking in. His home, my contract with him, even though he was in the Ecuadorian embassy, was signed under Australian law. He considers himself Australian. He's not Shamima. He's not stateless. He's Australian.